All right, let's jump right in. For ages, we've all thought of Parkinson's as, a brain disease. Period. But a whole wave of new research is making us look somewhere completely different, and honestly, kind of weird. We're talking about the gut. In this explainer, we're going to follow the breadcrumbs that connect the trillions of bacteria living inside us to this devastating neurodegenerative disease. I mean, that's a wild question, right? It just flips everything we thought we knew on its head. What if the very first signs of Parkinson's aren't a tremor in your hand, but a problem deep, deep inside your gut? That's the mystery we're going to try and crack today. And get this isn't some last-minute thing. We are talking about a really slow burn here. The science is suggesting that for up to 2 decades, that's 20 years, before any of the classic motor symptoms of Parkinson's even show up, the very first clues can appear in your gut. That right there is our crucial first clue. Okay, so let's start our investigation right there with that early evidence. And we're not just talking about a general upset stomach here. No, it's about a very specific set of symptoms that kind of act like an early warning system. So, a huge nationwide study went digging through medical records and he found something pretty incredible. These 4 specific conditions, having trouble swallowing, your stomach emptying out way too slowly, chronic constipation, and a specific type of IBS, all of them were strong predictors of a future Parkinson's diagnosis. You see, these weren't just random aches and pains. They were a clear pattern pointing straight to the gut as potential ground zero. So, the big question is, how on earth can a problem in your gut lead to a disease in your brain? I mean, it sounds like a massive leap, right? But there's a leading scientific theory that actually maps out a direct highway connecting those early gut symptoms to the brain damage that comes later. And that theory is called Brock's hypothesis. Now, the key player here is a protein called alpha-synuclein. In a lot of these neurodegenerative diseases, the bad guy is always a protein that misfolds. It just crumples up into the wrong shape and turns toxic. For Parkinson's, alpha-synuclein is that villain. And what the hypothesis suggests is that this toxic protein doesn't actually start in the brain. Nope. It starts clumping up way down in the gut's own nervous system. And then, get this, it travels up the vagus nerve, which is basically an information superhighway that runs directly from the gut to the brain. But what's causing this protein to go rogue in the gut in the first place? Well, that brings us to the prime suspect in our little investigation, that vast, complex community of tiny organisms living inside all of us, what we call the gut microbiome. And this isn't just a guess anymore. It's pretty much settled science. Study after study has shown that the community of gut bacteria in people with Parkinson's is really, really different from healthy people. This imbalance, it's called dysbiosis, seems to be a key signature of the disease, and now researchers are finally starting to figure out why. And this, my friends, is where the story gets absolutely fascinating. Recent research from Nagoya University in Japan has uncovered a potential mechanism, like a chain of events, that connects this bacterial imbalance directly to the conditions that could kickstart Parkinson's. And it all comes down to something surprisingly simple: vitamins. Okay, so what's really cool about this is how it lays out the whole domino effect. First, you've got that gut dysbiosis we talked about. The researchers found that this imbalance leads to a huge drop in the kinds of bacteria that make essential B vitamins, specifically riboflavin B2 and biotin B7. Now, without enough of those vitamins, the gut's protective lining, this mucus layer, it starts to get thin. It creates what people call a leaky gut. And it's thought that this leaky, inflamed gut is the perfect storm, the trigger, that causes that toxic alpha-synuclein protein to start clumping up, which kicks off that whole terrible journey up to the brain. And look, this isn't just some wild theory. The lead researcher on that study, Hiroshi Nishiwaki, said it himself. He believes that therapies targeting these specific B vitamins could be a real potential therapeutic avenue for helping patients, and maybe even slowing the disease down. I mean, that quote just perfectly captures the hope and the excitement around this new line of thinking. So this whole vitamin connection, it just opens up a completely new way of thinking about treatment. I mean, instead of focusing only on the brain, what if we could find new therapies by going after the gut? The early signs are, well, they're incredibly promising. And you know what? We already have some pretty solid evidence that treatments aimed at the gut can really help. Let's just take a quick look at the data on probiotics. This chart illustrates it perfectly. It's from something called a meta-analysis, which is where they pool together the data from a bunch of high-quality studies. Now, see that vertical line right down the middle? That's the no effect line. If the result lands there, the treatment did nothing. But look at that little diamond at the bottom. See how it's sitting way over to the right, on the side that favors probiotics? That shows that on average, patients taking probiotics had more than one extra bowel movement a week. I mean, that's clear, concrete proof that we can treat a major gut symptom of Parkinson's by focusing on the gut. And it wasn't just about going more often. The same analysis found that probiotics also made a big difference in stool consistency. Again, just look at where that final diamond is. It's way over on the right, far away from that no effect line. So we have hard clinical evidence that these gut-based therapies provide real, tangible relief for patients. It works. So that brings us to the next logical question, right? We've just seen that probiotics can help manage the gut symptoms. But the new research suggests that this B vitamin deficiency might actually be part of the cause, part of the mechanism that gets the whole disease process going. So could targeted vitamin therapy do more than just manage symptoms? Could it actually slow the disease itself? And that leads us to this really profound idea. The thought that a targeted, pretty simple, and easy to get B vitamin supplement could become a key weapon in fighting a disease as complex as Parkinson's. I mean, that's nothing short of revolutionary. It's a total paradigm shift. Okay, but it's really important to keep a level head here. This is all incredibly promising, but it's not a cure. Not yet. Scientists are really clear that we need large-scale, super rigorous clinical trials to confirm all of this. But the future could be even cooler. Imagine a day where we could analyze your specific gut bacteria and create a personalized treatment just for you, giving you the exact supplements your body needs. That's where this could be headed. So, we end up right back where we started with this really powerful question. The evidence is just piling up that for diseases like Parkinson's, the incredibly complex world inside our own gut holds critical clues, and maybe, just maybe, the key to a much healthier future. It's just an amazing reminder that the connections inside our own bodies are so much deeper and more profound than we ever could have imagined.